Good afternoon. Welcome, Akwaaba. Akwaaba. Welcome to another study session. My name's Mark. You haven't joined in before. It's a pleasure to welcome you all. D-Man, I can see you tuned in, and B and Queen P. Yeah, it's a bit grey. I don't know where you're based as you're watching this, but in London it's very grey and a bit drizzly. But yeah, hopefully we'll be going through a nice 1 minute flow just to energize the body. With a focus, as I said in the comments, on balance. So yeah, embrace the next 45 minutes. If it's your first time joining, as always, please do get at your pace. Feel free to come into child's pose, which will take at some point towards the beginning. If you want to come to restful pose, but yeah, otherwise, I think we are good to go. So we're going to start on our backs. So feel free to grab some water and have it handy. Shouldn't need any props today. Don't quote me. So just come to your bums. Just lie on your backs. If the soles of your feet on the floor, hip distance apart, and your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Just face your palms up towards the ceiling and close your eyes. Start the practice. We're going to just tune into our breath, recognize our inhale and exhale, and use that inhale and exhale just to keep us flowing for the next 45 minutes. So maybe you're in a natural breath at the moment. Just start to come into your Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi breath. You can activate it by just taking a slight restriction in the throat. And as we inhale in through the nose, just close the mouth and exhale through the nose. So aim to create an oceanic breath in the room. As you breathe in, really feel your belly expanding. And on exhale, your belly starts to go towards your spine, and the breath leaves out through your nose. Gentle inhale and exhale, in and out through the nose. Just start to come to some movement, lining your breath. So on the inhale, first of all, just maybe blink the eyes open. Just drop the knees over to the right side on inhale. And on the exhale, bring them back up towards center, point towards the ceiling. On the inhale, drop them down towards the left. Exhale, draw them back towards center. Let's just keep going this movement, this motion. Inhaling to drop down, exhale to come back towards center. Inhale, drop to the left. Exhale to come back. Just take 2 more at your own pace. This motion is just allowing us to get into sync with our breath. Maybe 1 more on each side. Raise any clicks you might hear in your lower back. Some nice gentle twist to the lower back, this one. Let's be your last one. Let's bring the knees back up towards center. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Maybe bring the head up towards the knees and come into a tight ball. And then take the head away and just massage out across the lower back. First going clockwise and then anti-clockwise. And then let's come to stillness. We're placing our knees stacked just above our hips. And let's take the calves so they're parallel to the floor and just curl the toes in towards the face. From here, just place your hands at the top of the knees. Feel free to rest the head on the ground. But then just start to press the hands into the knees and press the knees back into the hands. So we're bringing some engagement to our core. So we're going to do this for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just release. So release the resistance. Just keep the legs where they are and the hands on top of the knees. And get ready to go again. So again, we're just pressing the knees into the hands, pressing the hands into the knees. Let's go again for a count of 7, 6, 5. When you draw your belly down to your spine, 3, 2, 1, and just soften to release. Just place your hands on top of the knees. I'm going to go for one more for a count of 10. So remember, as we're creating a resistance, start to just draw your navel towards your spine and engage through your core here. Let's get it for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Really push your hands into your knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just start to just bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat. We're in this restful position for a couple of rests. If you lost your ujjayi breathing, start to come back into it. So take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the nose. And again. On the next inhale, let's raise the legs up towards the ceiling. So see if you're balancing the ceiling with the soles of the feet. Ladies, if it's better for you to place your knees at a right angle, feel free to go for that. Otherwise, we've got our legs up towards the ceiling. I'm going to start to bring that right leg down so it's 2 inches off the floor. If your leg was at a right angle, you just bring in the heel so it's just off the floor. And on an inhale, we're taking the leg back up towards the ceiling or back up towards parallel if that was your variation. Let's go to the other leg. So we're doing scissors of legs, which is floating the left leg 2 inches off the floor. And then out to bring it back up. On the exhale, let's go down on the right. Inhale to come up. Exhale to go down the left. Inhale to come up. Let's go for a count of 5. As the right goes down and comes up. 4. As the left goes down and comes up. 3. Up. 2. Up. Remember to draw your navel towards your spine. 1. Bring it back up. This time let's take both feet down. So it's at a 45-degree angle. If your legs are parallel to the floor, a 90-degree bend. Just take your bend down so your heels are hovering off the floor. We're holding it here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the heels down. So both heels are 2 inches off the floor. For a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Release the legs down. So we did a few core exercises there, which will hopefully provide a bit of stability as we go through a few of the balancing exercises. On the inhale, let's all take our knees into our chest, and let's just rock and roll along the length of the spine. So inhale to rock up, just hover the heels off the floor. So you're engaging through the core. And exhale to roll back. Inhale to come up. Exhale to go back. Let's come up one more time. I'm going to cross the legs over. I'm going to come into our tabletop. So any which way you get there, doesn't matter whether you feel it's ungraceful let's all find ourselves coming into tabletop. So our hands are stacked underneath the shoulder blades, shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. We're going to come into just a few gentle cat and cows. So on the inhale, let's take the belly down towards the mat, take the gaze up towards the front diagonal, and the tailbone goes up towards the sky. On the exhale, draw the navel into the belly. Let's round through the upper back, pressing the hands into the mat. And let's take that again. So you're undulating through the back. Inhale to take the gaze up. Exhale to round through the upper back. Let's go for one more. Inhale to roll the shoulders back. The tailbone goes high. And exhale, pressing the hands to the mat, creating space between the shoulder blades. And release. Let's come back into a neutral. So if the hands at the front of the mat, let's lift the left leg up and point the left leg towards the back of the room. So you're curling your left toes in towards your face. Your left leg is parallel. Again, you're engaging through the core. Once you've got that balance there, let's see if you can lift up through the right hand and take the right hand out in front of you. So you're long through the body. The right palm is facing the left side of the room. On the inhale, see if you've got any more room to stretch out. And on the exhale, let's take that right elbow to the right hip and start to bring that left knee in towards the left elbow, round through the upper back. Inhale, let's go long. Exhale, we're going to tuck in. Elbow to hip, knee to elbow. Let's go for one more. The right arm goes nice and long. Left leg goes back. I'm going to curl in for one more and hold it there. Count of 3, 2, 1. Let's place that left knee down, the right hand down. And come back into your hands and your knees, feel grounded across these 4 points. Let's take the other side. So on the inhale, this time we're lifting up through that right leg, putting our right leg back towards the back wall, the back of the room, curling the right toes in towards the face. The left hand goes nice and long, facing the right side of the room. So on the inhale, I'm going to lengthen out through the body. Exhale, knee to elbow, left elbow to left hip. On the inhale, going long. Exhale, right knee to right elbow to left hip. Let's go for one more. Inhale to create length through the body. Really stretch out for that left hand and press into the back heel. And that's curling for one more. Rounding through the upper back. It's a really good balance here. And just come back into our neutral. Tabletop, the hands at the front of the mat. Start to move the shoulders. Start to place your feet together at the back of the mat. Your knees to hip distance apart. And let's just walk the bum back as we come into our child's pose. So at any point for the remainder of the class, feel free to take this posture. It's a nice resting posture here. You start to wiggle your hips from side to side. Just roll across the front of the forehead. So you massage that part of the body out. Let's get ready for our downward dog. So on the inhale, let's press back up into a tabletop. Take the feet hips apart, curl the toes under, press the hands into the mats. Let's lengthen out through the arms as we come into our first downward facing dog. On the inhale, let's go high on the toes. And on the exhale, start to draw the heels energetically down towards the mat. Pressing the hands into the front of the mat, lengthen out through the arms, soften into the shoulders. So you can take that tailbone any higher towards the ceiling. Just take your gaze towards the back of the mat in between the legs. On the next inhale, let's come high on the toes and let's step forward. Let's all meet at the front of the mat in our ragdoll. So we're nice and
heavy through the front of the body. Just roll or rock from side to side and slowly start to bring our torso up as we come up one vertebra at a time. Let the arms be heavy in their head. As you reach the top, roll the shoulders back. Let the head be the last to come up. Just face the palms forward as we meet into Tadasana, mountain pose. So you're rolling the shoulders back, you're long in the spine. Start to shuffle the feet together. Maybe pigeon toe the feet so the toes are together, the heels slightly apart. On the inhale, let's draw the arms up towards the ceiling, take them gaze up towards the hands meet in prayer. And on the exhale, draw the prayer through the chest, bend from the hips as we come down for our Uttanasana. On the inhale, hands to shins to take a halfway lift, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, let's place the hands at the front of the mat. We're going to come into some sun salutations to start. So we're stepping back with that left foot, stepping back with that right foot as we find ourselves in our plank. So forwards and back on the toes, remembering to switch on the core. So again, draw the navel towards the spine. On our next rock forwards, a bend into the elbows for a low plank. Press through the toes. Either come up into a cobra, so the hands are underneath the shoulders. Just press the hands into the mat. They don't have to go for the extended. Let's come back down towards the floor. Let's go for another cobra. So again, the hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. On the inhale, pressing the hands into the mat, lifting the front of the chest off the floor. And exhale, we're coming down again. On the next inhale, we're going to come up into an upward facing dog. So we're lengthening out through the arms. The elbows are tucked into the ribs. And on the next breath, curl the toes under. And together, let's meet in our down facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. On the next inhale, I'm going to lift that right leg up. You've got two variations. Either you're lifting the right leg so it's parallel with the mat, or see if you can take that right leg a bit higher up and test your balance. So the right leg is pointing up towards the back diagonal. And on the next breath, we're drawing that right leg all the way through. And then step that left leg to join the right and the front of the mat. Let's place the hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back for a halfway lift. Exhale to bring the body back down for our ragdoll. Inhale, bend into the knees and let's shoot those arms up towards the ceiling. Really breathe on the fingers here. And on the exhale, let's take our prayer to the center of our chest. Let's go again. Inhale, the hands go high. Exhale, bending from the hips as we come all the way down for Uttanasana. Inhale to come up for a halfway lift, hands on the shins, lengthen up through the arms. Just gaze in beyond the front of the mat here. And on the exhale, place the hands into the front, at the front of the mat. Stepping that left foot back. And then jumping that right foot back to meet the left. That's once again, we're meeting our plank. If you do want to take the modification, let's press into the toes as we roll forwards. The modification, we're going to drop the knees to the mat, uncurl the toes, bend into the elbows for a low plank. Again, feel free to take a cobra, or feel free to come straight up into our upward facing dog. Remember to take our elbows into our ribs. And on the exhale, press the hands to the mat, curl the toes under, and together let's meet in our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and exhale out. Let's take the left side. So on the inhale, again, the left leg is going parallel with the floor here. If you want to test your balance, feel free to start to lift that left leg towards the back diagonal. Really press your hands into the mat to get an elevation. So you're balanced on the one leg here. And on your next breath, start to take the knee all the way through. Step the left leg at the front of the mat. and then hop that right foot to join the left as we meet in our ragdoll. Let's take the hands to the shins, roll the shoulders back for a halfway lift. Exhale, let's come down. Inhale, bend into the knees. Again, we're taking the arms up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze in between the hands at the top. And on the exhale, bring the hands into prayer, into the center of the chest. Inhale, let's take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, going to bend from the hips to come all the way down. And take one more each side. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Roll the shoulders back. On the exhale, bend into the knees, place the hands at the front of the mat. Step the left foot all the way back. And the right to join the left as we meet in our high plank. Now feel free to take the modification. Otherwise, just come straight into a low plank, bend into the elbows, tucking in the elbows. Press through the toes as you come up for our upward facing dog. Curl the toes under. As together with me in our downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Once again, let's take that right side. So inhale, take the right leg so it's parallel. Press your hands into the mat and take the right leg up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, taking that right leg all the way through, stepping at the front of the mat, jumping that left leg to meet the right as we meet in our Uttanasana. Take the hands to the shins, lengthen out through the arms for a halfway lift. Exhale to release down. Inhale, bend into the knees, let's come up all the way towards the ceiling. Lengthen out through the body. And on the exhale, let's take the prayer to the center of our chest. We're going one more on the left side. On the inhale, we're drawing the hands up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, take the prayer through the chest, bend from the hips. Maybe take a slight bend in the knees as you come down for a forward fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. So you roll the shoulders back for a halfway lift. Lengthening that through the spine, taking a gaze. Can just be on the front of the mat, so you're long in the neck. Exhale, place the hands at the front of the mat. Maybe take a bend in the knees so your hands can reach. Let's step that left foot back and the right foot to join the left as we meet in our high plank. We know what's coming. Going to rock forward into the toes. Either take the modification by dropping to the knees, otherwise bend into the elbows for low plank. Press through the toes and press the hands to the mat for an upward facing dog. And on the exhale, we're curling the toes under as we meet in our downward facing dog. So come to our inverted V. Really feel grounded through the hands here and through the soles of the feet. Energetically, we're drawing our heels down towards the mat. Let's finish up on the left side now. So on the inhale, taking that left leg so it's parallel. We'll keep it going. Press the hands into the mat. Left leg is high. And on the exhale, we're drawing that left leg all the way through, placing the left sole of the foot at the front of the mat. Just hop that right foot forward as we meet in our forward fold. Take the hands to the shins, roll the shoulders back for halfway lift. Exhale to come into our forward fold. Inhale, bend into the knees. Let's take the prayer out towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up towards the prayer. And on the exhale, we're taking our hands into the center of our chest. Nice one. Still at the top of our mats. Let's see if we've lost our Ujjayi breath. If we have, let's slowly come into our Ujjayi. So we're inhaling in through the nose and bringing them restrictions to the back of the throat as we exhale through the nose. And again, inhale in and exhale out. On the next breath,
We're going to start to lift up through that right knee. So first one nice and grounded through that left leg, that left foot. Engage through the left quad. So treat that left leg as if it's a tree trunk. And keep your hands in prayer, or maybe take your hands either side of yourselves, out to one side, I should say, and start to lift up through that right leg. So we're bringing the balance just to the left leg here. See if you've lost your ujjayi. You can use your ujjayi breath just to maintain your concentration. Let's take that left hand, and place it on the outside of the right knee. And just using that resistance to start to open up the body towards the right side of the room. So the right arm might go back. So you're twisting from your lower back here. If you wanted to take the outside of the right foot and come to the twist there and test your balance, then feel free to go for it. Really engage through your left quad. If your right leg is out straight, just bring it back so it's at a right angle. Slowly, we're going to bring our hands forward and start to elevate that right leg back towards the back of the room. So you come into that superhero position, either taking your hands into prayer at the center of your chest. You're nice and strong for that left leg. Your arms are out either side of you. And on the inhale, start to bend slightly to that left leg. Taking that right knee back up towards the front again. And on the exhale, place the right foot back down at the front of the mat. Let's take the other side. So let's start off by bringing a bit of focus and awareness to our right foot, the right sole of the foot, and to our right quad. Once you feel nice and strong through that right leg, in your own time, on the inhale, start to lift that left leg up so it's at a right angle. Again, take your arms maybe out towards the side, and keep your hands in prayer in the center of your chest. Whatever helps you with your balance here. Either stay there, or let's take that right hand on the outside of the left knee. I'm going to come into the twist. So the left hand is behind us, and we'll open up our body towards the left side of the room. So keep that modification, or if you wanted to test your balance, maybe take the outside of the left foot and lengthen up through that left leg. Whichever variation you're in, you can hold it for another 2 breaths. Another 1. If your left leg is straight out of you, bring it back towards center. Let's start to take our torso back so it's facing forwards. And on the next breath, it's going to start to bend a little bit into that right knee. As we start to draw that left leg back, we're finding ourselves coming into that superhero position once again. So the arms are out either side and the left leg is parallel. Another 2, another 1. Bend into that right knee slowly. Start to bring that left knee back up towards the front. Bend into the knee. And on the exhale, let's drop that left foot back down at the front of the mat. Shake out through the legs. Going to go through a Vinyasa. On the inhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, bend from the hips as we come down into our forward fold. Inhale, hands to the shins for halfway lift, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, place the hands on the front of the mat. Let's step the left foot back and the right to join the left. As together we meet in our high plank. We're going to walk forwards onto the toes,
bend into the elbows for a low plank. Feel free to take the modification by dropping onto the knees. Just press through the toes. Press the hands to match. We come up for our upward facing dog, rolling the shoulders back. And on the exhale, pressing the hands to mat, curl the toes under, and together we meet in our downward facing dog. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. I'm going to take a modification or variation to what we've just done there. So on the inhale, let's start by lifting up through that right leg. Again, the right leg is either parallel to the floor, or you can press your hands to the mat, taking the right leg up towards the back diagonal. And on the exhale, draw the knee all the way through. We're going to meet in our high lunge, or crescent lunge. So the right foot is sitting on the inside of the right hand. The right sole of the foot is flat. We're high in the back toes. Once you feel nice and grounded, keep that bend in that right knee. On the inhale, let's lift up through the torso. Again, draw the navel to the spine. And let's take our arms up towards the ceiling, either side of our ears. If you find you're a bit wobbly here, really feel as if you're pushing back into that left heel. And engage through that left quad. So you're nice and strong for that left leg. Let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale to soften. On the next breath, we're going to hop forward, up off those left toes. And we're going to take that left leg. So once again, the left foot is up off the floor. You've got a bend in that left knee. Maybe take your hands, again, just out to the side. And we're now going to come into dancer's pose. So if you've not done dancer's pose before, we're balancing on that right leg. Let's take that bum towards that bum. Take our left heel towards our left bum, or our left cheek. And so you can take the inside of that left leg, of that left foot, with that left hand. That might be your variation today of dances. If you want to go a bit deeper into the posture, you take your right hand out in front of you. I like to take my fingers to mudra, so I take my right thumb to my right index finger, take my concentration, start to bend into that right knee, and then lengthen out through that right leg as you push the left foot into our left hand. Don't forget you ujjayi your breath here. So nice and strong for that right leg. For number 2. Another 1. And slowly release. Let's place that left foot at the front of the mat. Let's shake out through the legs here. And we're going to come into tree pose before we take the other side. So I'm going to face the camera so you can see. So feel nice and strong through the left leg this time. So that left leg this time is a tree. You're nice and grounded through the left sole of the foot. We're going to once again lift up through that right knee. So you've got a bend in the right knee. And either take the sole of the right foot and just sit it inside of the left calf. Again, that could be your variation today. Embrace any shakes or wobbles. Or we're here for a count of 5 breaths. Feel free to take your right foot, the sole of the right foot, and place it inside of the left thigh. So either variation, avoiding the left knee. We're not pressing to the left knee. So you're opening through the hips here, external rotation through the hips. Again, maybe take your arms out either side of you. Take your hands into prayer. Here for another 3 breaths. Nice and strong for that left leg.
If you're finding this super easy or you want to challenge yourself a bit further, so you can close your eyes and see what that does with your balance. I always find I start to wobble. It just goes to show how important all of our senses are. If you fall out of it, it's all good. So let's all come towards the front of our mat. If we stepped away, on the inhale, let's draw the arms up towards the ceiling. And on exhale, bend from the hips as we come all the way down for our forward fold. On the inhale, hands to the shins, roll the shoulders back for a halfway lift. On the exhale, place our hands at the front of the mat. Let's step the left foot back and the right to join the left as we meet in our high plank. We're going to go for a chaturanga. On the inhale, rock forwards into the toes, bend into the elbows for a low plank. Press through the toes, press the hands to the mat as you come up for our upward facing dog. And soften through the shoulders, take the elbows in towards the ribs. And on the exhale, press the hands to the mat, curl the toes under, and together we meet in our downward facing dog. So last side. On the inhale, that left leg goes parallel to the floor. We're taking that left leg up towards the back diagonal, pressing the hands into the mat. And on the next breath, start to draw that knee all the way through the body. Any which way, we're placing the left leg, the left foot, so it sits on the inside of the left hand, maintaining the bend in that left knee as we prepare for our high lunge or crescent lunge. So we're high on the back toes. Once you feel grounded, start to lift the torso up off the left thigh. Engage through the core, draw the navel in towards the spine. Remember, you're pressing out through the back of the heel. So we're nice and strong through that back leg. On the inhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling or high up the torso. If you've lost your ujjayi breathing, just gently come back to it. It really helps with the concentration here and the balance. On the next inhale, we're going to spring forward up off those right toes. And again, we're taking a bend in that right knee. The right side of the foot is parallel to the floor. We're strong through that left leg this time. And let's start to bring that right foot back, taking the right heel towards the right buttock. And we're taking the inside of the right foot this time with our right hand. Again, this might be our variation for dancer's pose today. If it is, just feel nice and strong for that left leg. Maintain your focus. Otherwise, take a mudra of your left hand to bring your left thumb and your left index finger together. Start to press that right foot into the right hand and lift up as you come into the full expression of dancer's pose. If you fall out, like I did, feel free to come back into it for the final 2 breaths. For one more breath. And start to bring that right foot back up towards center and place the right foot down on the floor. So I'm going to come back towards the center of my mat so you can see we're going to take tree pose on the right foot this time. So we're nice and strong through the sole of the right foot. We're nice and grounded. We're going to lift up through that left leg. This time we're placing that left leg, the left foot I should say, left sole of the foot on the inside of the right calf. Otherwise, if it's there for you, to take the left sole of the foot on the inside of the right thigh. then go for it. Again, you're creating that external rotation through your hips here. Once you come to your balance, you would take your arms again out either side of you, or take your hands into prayer, into the center of your chest. So come back into your Ujjayi breath. Whoa. If you really want to test your balance again, just engage through your core and maybe close your eyes. Just embrace whatever your body might be doing here. Just feel that right foot on the floor. If your eyes were closed, just blink them back open. And let's place that left sole of the foot back down on the mat. And step back towards the front of the mat. As we go through our one more sun, on the inhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling, take the prayer nice and high. On exhale, take the prayer through the chest as you bend from the hips as you come down for Uttanasana. Let's take the hands to the shins, roll the shoulders back, lengthen up through the arms for a halfway lift. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, place the hands at the front of the mat. Step the left foot back and the right to join the left as we meet in plank. Before we come to a chaturanga, we're going to come into a balance via side plank. So just engage with the core one more time. So let's take our right hand and place it in the center of the mat at the front. As always, feel free to take the modification and drop it onto that right knee and right shin before bringing that left heel towards the floor. I'm going to start to open up the body towards the left side of the room. We're going to go for the full expression. You're stacking that left leg on top of the right leg. If you want to test your balance even further, maybe see if you can lift that left leg up off the right. Maybe take your left hand to the left knee. And let's bring the left hand back towards the mat. Come back into our plank and get ready for the other side. So this time, it's left hand into the center of the mat. We're dropping onto that left knee and the left shin. Let's bring that right heel to the floor. On the inhale, take that right arm up towards the ceiling as we open up the body towards the right side of the room. Either keep this variation or we're stacking our right leg on top of our left for our side plank, or we're taking a variation of tree and taking the right sole of the foot and sitting it inside of our left thigh. It's there for you to lift that right leg up, touch the top of the knee for a count of 3, 2, 1. Let's cut with the hands back down towards the front of the mat, and together we'll meet in our high plank. Whichever variation you took today, well done. Almost done now. Let's lock forwards onto the toes, bend into the elbows for low plank. Let's press through to come up for our upward facing dog. Curl the toes under, and we meet in our downward facing dog. Together, let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. On the inhale, come high on the toes. Walk the toes towards the front of the mat. Lift up through the heels. Just take our bums down towards our heels and start to bring yourself down towards the mat. Lengthen out through the legs. Bring the head down. The arms are out either side of yourself. Just lift the head up off the mat. Bring the chin to the chest. Maybe take a gaze towards the front of the room. Place the head back down. And all we did there is just create a bit of length in the back of the head, back of the neck, I should say. The feet are flopping out either side. The palms are up towards the ceiling. Just let go of the Ujjayi breathing now.
as we prepare for our final pose, Shavasana. Just close the eyes, backing your natural breath, and relax. Start to bring some movement to your hands into your feet. Massage out for the back of the head by just shaking your head from left to right. Take a deep breath in and exhale out through the mouth. Let it all go. Start to draw your knees in towards your chest. Start to rock up and down along the length of the spine. And then rock up and let's meet in a seated position. If you're still in Shavasana, feel free to stay there for as long as you might need for today. You can place your hands in your lap or feel free to take your hands into prayer in the center of your chest. Just close your eyes and give yourself a pat on the back. Reward yourself for taking time out to practice, whether it's now or whether it's later on repeat, on playback. And wishing everyone an amazing week ahead as we prepare for further easing of lockdown here in the UK. Hopefully things continue on this trajectory. Thank you and have a great Sunday. All done. Another quick one, it seemed. I was sweating a little bit there. I do find balancing postures quite testing. So yeah, keen to know how you guys found it. Thanks for your feedback, Queen P. Yeah, the weather's not great for walking, but no doubt you're out doing your steps and inspiring us with keeping fit, mind, body, and soul, as you like to say. Checking out your video again later. Thank you, B. Your dancer's pose was a bit of a challenge. Maybe should have slipped in some more quad exercises before going into that one. But yeah, it's one of the most challenging balancing postures. When will my mats be available? I have to get onto the mats. I've got some homework to do. All right, guys. Thanks for the heads up. I'll get onto the mats. But yeah, look, thanks again for your support. Thanks for practicing together virtually, supporting each other online during the week and Akwaaba Yoga for the past 12, 13 months now. Back next week for another flow. As always, if you can hit the like or subscribe and share, always appreciated. Otherwise, yeah, I'll keep the chat going for another 30 seconds to a minute or so. I'll get onto the mats, I promise. I'll do some investigation. But I do enjoy doing it. I'm using it, doing it. Anyway, have a great Sunday and I will see you next week on the mat. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.